Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Going back for daily uploads again. If you're listening on the podcast on Spotify, I want to welcome you over there as well. So I wanted to talk about, and I'm just going to cut straight to it. I'm not going to talk about how I didn't upload for 30 days in February, anything like that. I'm just going to get straight into making more content for you guys. I've been having some really deep conversations with some of our clients inside of our program. We have a lot of people doing extremely well. I haven't gotten the chance to talk about it throughout February, but some of the breakthroughs our clients are seeing is incredible. We've created another $1 million a year success story, which I'll be sharing with you guys soon. We've got tons of interviews with our clients coming up on the channel, so be sure to check those out when they arrive. And as always, look, if you're ready to get help scaling your consulting, agency, coaching business, if you have expertise or a service that you're trying to sell to the market, whether it's B2B or B2C, book a call with our team. There's no obligation to make a decision. Even if you don't decide to work with us, it's likely going to be the most profitable 45 to 60 minutes you've spent on your business to date. And we literally have people sending us messages saying that's exactly the case. Even though they didn't invest in our thing, they still loved the time they got to spend with my team getting their help. So anyway, on to the content here, on to the video, skipping the plug. Why aren't you attracting the sorts of clients that you want to attract? Why aren't you getting the high tier, high paying, high quality, high investment sorts of clients that you're wanting to attract? And I want to just be very candid with you about one of the things that I've learned. It's a mental thing. And it's a quote that I learned at one point that has really, really, really helped me. And it says, you are who you attract. Okay, the energy you put out, you're going to get that energy back. The people in your life are just mirror images of yourself. So the things that you believe about yourself, the people in your life are going to mirror those things. And it's a lot of responsibility at first. And honestly, it can be very crippling to think, wow, the only reason people think this about me is because I secretly think it about myself and I've refused to admit it. And let me give you an example of how this works in life and then an example of how this works in business. So in life, I'll talk about myself, for example. I grew up homeschooled, and there's a lot of massive benefits to being homeschooled, and I plan to homeschool my kids as well. But as a homeschooler, you get to choose. Are you going to be, a bit of an isolate? Are you just going to chill in your room and play Minecraft all day, which is what I did? Or are you going to try and go out, build your circle? And, as a kid, you kind of want life to hand you things. And so I developed this habit of kind of just isolating. And over the past year, I've made a conscious decision. You know what? I'm going to choose to have an invitive personality type. I'm going to choose to love the people in my circle no matter what. I'm going to choose to be a friend and dive deeper into my relationships. And what I found was relationships started coming naturally. People call me, people text me asking for advice. I've got incredible male and female friends that I lean on. And it was a choice that I made at the beginning of last year. I said, you know what? I'm going to fix this. I'm not going to settle for this anymore. I'm not going to be an isolate, just working in my business, which is honestly a dream lifestyle for a lot of people, but that's not what I wanted, right? Then there's business. At one point in my journey, I had to decide, I am not going to continue to attract these low-level clients. I am not a low-level man. I'm not a low-level business owner. I'm a high-level business owner. It was a choice I had to make in my own head. The details are to be found out later. How am I going to be a high-level business owner? How am I going to be a high-level man? I don't know. I have no idea, right? And even right now, I'm looking at my business and I'm saying, man, I need to upgrade. I need to push further. I need to overcome these ideas, these limiting ideas I have of myself in order to attract the sorts of clientele we're wanting to attract. The sorts of people that are ready to take action, the sorts of people that want to get incredible results, the sorts of people that will go all in, listen, take action, and even innovate off of the concepts that we're giving them in order to get the best experience with us. And then maybe even come back in and help our clients, which is really what we look for. And in order to attract those sorts of people, I have to decide that I am completely worthy of those sorts of people. So don't get it twisted. I didn't wake up one day and say, all right, we're going to attract clients that are willing to pay us multiple 4 figures, sometimes 5 figures. That I want to create over 100 millionaires. That's my goal. I want to create $100 million a year businesses by the time that I'm 30, and I believe I'm going to do it in this niche. Okay. So I had to choose that that's what I wanted. So you get to choose. This is the thing. People think it's about their message. People think it's about how they sell. People think it's about what product they're selling. Yeah, those things are all important, but those are all manifestations off of this belief. What's your belief? What do you believe about yourself? Now, to make it tangible and practical, there's a few things you got to follow. A, solve a bigger problem than what you're solving right now. You can use the same tool, have the same service, run the same service for your clients, literally the exact same service. Facebook ads for e-commerce businesses, for example. It's a really popular one in like the SMMA like sub niche online, the business owner. And I'm not even really going after that niche. I'm kind of just going after anyone with a B2B or B2C consulting service. So like, for example, with that, a lot of people think, I'm gonna just make them an extra $20,000 to $30,000 a month. How do you make them an extra $500,000 a month? What sorts of problems do you have to solve to do that? You have to give yourself permission to think on that level. You really do. It genuinely is that simple. One of our coaching clients that I worked with when he was getting started, Bastian Slot. A lot of people know this guy. He's gone on to do incredible. You may or may not know him. And they just wrapped up a $220,000 revenue collected month in February. Huge shout out to my buddy, Bastian. He got online, he searched on YouTube, he said how to start a coaching business, scheduled a call with me. I sold him, he worked with me directly getting started, and he's been able to scale way up since then. So literally actually over 2 million a year now, which is insane. And it's just cool that I get to even say that. But when you just do simple things for clients, you help them book more calls, sell higher ticket, get better results for their clients, there's no limit, right? As long as you have a bigger platform, you can sell more people. You just got to build your team to support that scale. But one of the things that I mastered with him, and I saw him really work on at the beginning stage, is his idea of who he is. And this is a big deal. And people are gonna like watch my YouTube channel and see this like underlying theme. They're gonna be like, okay, Trey, I get it. I get self-image, blah, blah, blah. But you don't understand. If you are questioning this, that tells me you don't really totally get what's going on in the world. Once you release the idea that you are not capable of selling $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 upfront, paid in full clients, that's when you start to see success. You don't have to earn the ability to do it. You have to release the idea that you can't. You don't have to overcome anything. You just release the idea that you can't. Let go of that insecurity. It's only there because it was handed to you at some point, through the education system. Maybe you were told you have to have a degree, or maybe, your parents told you, that's cool, but you're gonna have to figure it out. And I love my parents, but I remember the first time I told my, I won't even say which parent, but the first time I told one of them that I was going to be a wedding photographer, which is the first thing I wanted to do as an entrepreneur, they laughed. And I get it. If my kid at 16 is like, I want to shoot weddings, I'd be like, you're 16, dude. Who's going to hire you for a wedding? So there's no resentment. But that was a little scar. And you collect these scars throughout your life that tell you you can or can't. So you have to release these scars. You have to release these scars. Another one came from the first girl that I ever dated. This is a story I tell often. And again, if they happen to be watching this, there's no resentment. I could care less. I'll hang out with them at this point. But at the time, her family would make fun of and pick on me and spread rumors about me about me trying to be successful in business, because I made it very apparent that was my goal. And they literally at one point said, Trey, you should just go get a degree, because honestly, we know this isn't going to work out for you. And, we'd rather our daughter date somebody with a degree. And I was like, holy cow, that was a deep scar. Because, at 16, 17, you're really trying to prove yourself, especially as a man, right? And so that was a deep scar. And so you just collect these things. And so you have to release those ideas of yourself. You have to let go of those things before you can lean into a new idea of who you're supposed to be. So why are you not attracting the level of clients you want to be attracting? Also, I had some people complain that I walk around in my apartment too much. So I'm just gonna stand still now. I apologize. I remember a couple of videos back, somebody said, hey Trey, stop walking around your apartment, because it's really making me very dizzy. And I apologize. Maybe just listen to the audio or something. Get YouTube Red, completely worth it. So you can lock your phone and just listen to the audio. Or if you're on Spotify, just go do that. Actually, just go do that. But why aren't you getting the sorts of clients that you desire? Well, to summarize it, and there's details involved here, like your messaging, the problem you solve, where you're sourcing your clients. That's a really big one. But at the end of the day, it's because you don't think you can. And that's a weird thing for people to hear. But the reality is, the reason you're watching this video in the first place is you're looking for the secret. You're looking for something, you're looking for someone to tell you why you can't do it when it's completely internal. So the fact that you're watching this video right now or listening to this podcast tells me that you have that doubt. And so I would challenge you right now in this very moment to release that doubt and decide to kind of boldly and a little bit arrogantly lean into the fact that you can attract the sort of clients you want to day in, day out, and it's completely effortless for you. So that would be my input. We've told our clients this a lot in our program. We'll see, like, for example, we have a client who has gotten like 30 sales calls, all with qualified clients. Like every single one, I've seen the forums, I've seen the calls, I've seen where he's sourcing his clients. 30 sales calls. This is a total beginner, by the way. So it makes sense that he's struggling with this. But qualified sales calls, like easy closes. And that's, of course, for me and for my team. He's completely new, so I'm not, it'd be really rude of me to, say he's doing something wrong. But where he can improve is in his boldness of the ask. And the boldness of your ask at the end of these calls sort of starts with whether you believe you deserve or don't deserve their business. You want to move from feeling rejected when somebody says no to honestly feeling bad for them. That's where you should move. And it comes down to confidence in your product or your offer. It comes down to confidence in your ability to get results for people that pay you, absolutely. But it's the same with anything. Like, you gotta feel deserving of the thing that you desire. If you don't believe that you deserve it, you're gonna sabotage yourself out of it. So this is just a core idea that I've been practicing in my business. One of the areas where I'm practicing it actually is this idea that I deserve to have a business, a community, and a life that serves me, serves my future family, serves my social circle, serves my mentality, serves my health, my wealth, my well-being, serves every area of me, my faith, my relationship with God, gives me time and energy to pour into that, which is, I consider it to be the most important thing in my life. And if I have those freedoms, then success in all areas will just be a natural manifestation of the things that I believe I'm worthy of. So that's why you're not getting the clients that you desire. And I know it sounds a little shallow to some people. I understand. You're going to hear this and you're going to say, look, Trey, I understand. Mentality is everything. This is your whole thing, Trey. I get it. Mr. Mindset guy. But I couldn't tell you how broken my business was, my mindset was, my mentality was until I started listening to people telling me what I'm telling you right now. The reason you don't have the clients, the reason you don't have the business, the reason you're putting in the work and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere is because at its core, you have an insecurity that you need to release. You've been given it, you've heard it around, you've subtly been told it as you go throughout life. One of the things that I've been subtly told, I'm a shorter guy, so I'm 5'8", right? And so these guys that are like huge, like 6'2", 6'3" buff dudes, I see them at the gym, I see them at rock climbing, I see them everywhere. And so growing up, I had this idea that I was less. And everybody has these things, right? Maybe you are overweight, you're skinny, maybe you don't like your eye color, maybe you don't like your skin color, maybe you don't like the family you grew up in, the city you grew up in, whatever it is, you feel like you might be less. And you don't have to overcome that, you just have to let go of it. You have to let go of the idea that you are less for any reason. And what you'll find is on the other side of letting go of that, there's an amount of abundance that you didn't even realize was there. An abundance in your relationship with your family, an abundance in your relationship with your friends, and an abundance in your relationship to your business and your ability to close and get clients and succeed in that arena. So to crystallize this a little bit and make it a bit more relevant, and I'm using all these hippie words now, look at me, like crystals. I gotta be real careful here not to sound too much like a hippie. But to really make this message, to give you some practicals. If you believe you can get the clients that you want to get, and you have that core identity belief, then the way you build your funnel, the way you prospect, the way you ask on the call, the way you handle the call, the way you handle your client after they've paid, the way that you interact with potential clients that you know will pay down the line, the way you interact with your team, the way you build your product, the way that you do everything will mirror that core idea regarding yourself. So a couple practical tips for those of you who don't enjoy the whole mindset thing. A, source your clients from a high value area. So don't try and source clients from low tier communities, low quality ways of putting out content or running ads or whatever. You want to be putting out a message that attracts high quality people, right? Make sure you put out a message, make sure you have an image that attracts people that, get it, right? They understand the opportunity and they're excited to invest and get help, right? So more often than not, people think about their messaging, but often it's where your message lands on the internet, who's listening. So think about that. Whether it's paid ads, you're running them down a funnel, which we help you build, or it's organic traffic like YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, which we help you with as well. Whichever it is, just make sure that you're attracting high quality people. Make sure that your message speaks to high tier problems and problems that only high quality people are going to face. Okay? And then lastly, lean into a sense of boldness. Not arrogance, not ego, not cockiness, just boldness when it comes time for the ask on the call. In our, we've got two programs. We've got a sort of a beginner level program, then an advanced program, and people can honestly hop into whichever they want. They both have a lot of substance, and when you hop into the higher tier, we give you the lower tier for free. But more often than not, it's just you don't have the budget for the high tier, so you just pop into the low tier, right? Because it's significantly more expensive, even though it's far more transformation. And in the lower tier program, we have recordings of, and in our higher tier program, actually, we have different recordings for both, but we've got recordings of sales calls. So you can actually see myself selling, $10, $15, $20,000 packages to our clients, and eventually I want to sell bigger ones, $30, $40, $50,000 consulting packages to clients that need help with sales, with their marketing, with whatever it is that they want to do, right? And people see these calls and they're like, Trey, I get it now. I see what you're saying when you say have boldness. Because I'm on these calls and they're throwing at me these big numbers. They're like, yeah, we did $500,000 last month, and we're just trying to figure out how to solve this operational issue, and our VA found you online, and I'm just like, okay. I'm just nodding and I'm just hearing it, and it doesn't faze me, because before I hop on these calls, I'm just like, all right, just be bold. Just let go of the idea that it's above or beneath or beside you. It's just you're here with them right now. Don't overthink it. Don't read into it so much. By the end of the call, I've made my ask. Hey, it's $15,000. Hey, it's $20,000. I'll give you to the end of the day. If you make a decision on the call, I can take $4,000 off of it for you, something like that. And then they say, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I think I'd like to do that. And then, a client of ours that goes through our program sees that, and they're like, holy cow, you can just hop on a Zoom call with somebody and offer them that? And I'm like, yeah, you can. You don't have to do all this email back and forth, all this sending a proposal, then waiting 3 weeks, and then you don't have to do that. This back and forth, it's not because the client actually needs more information. It's because you weren't bold enough. Every time it's because you weren't bold enough. So I'm gonna wrap up the video here. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. If you're listening on Spotify, hopefully you enjoyed it over there as well. Be bold. Be bold in your marketing, be bold in your offer, be bold in your ask, be bold in your ability to get your clients the results that they're desiring in their life and in their business. And I guarantee you results will be on the other side of that. Stay well. Once again, book your call with myself or my team using the link below. Whether you're on Spotify or on YouTube, you can use the link below. Schedule a call with us. Let us help you. It's impossible to get to where you want to get doing the same thing that got you to where you are now. If you continue to do what you're doing now, the results won't change. What's it? The definition of insanity. It's to do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. If you really want to grow your business, the only way to do it is to get help from people that have been there, done that, solved the problem for hundreds of other people, and can solve it for you as well. So book your call. Let us help you. Enjoy your day. Have a good one.